No English team has ever won the quadruple. Arsenal and Manchester City have the chance to create history.
Vid sponsor index backlinks and pages fastultimateindexing.com.
Arsenal are ahead, but they must still visit City's Etihad Stadium. Pep Guardiola's City have come close to the quadruple. Chelsea nearly managed it in 2006-07 at a time when Jose Mourinho, then their manager, was in his pomp. They lifted the FA Cup too, but fell painfully short in Europe and in the Premier League. The two Manchester clubs and Liverpool have also been within sniffing distance of claiming the other three trophies. After lifting the League Cup, Arsenal or City will require perfection and an element of good fortune. Chelsea kickstarted their quadruple hopes by beating Arsenal 2-1 in the League Cup final. Sir Alex Ferguson's side were good too. Mourinho's Chelsea continued to progress in the FA Cup, which they eventually won by beating United in the final in late May. But they had already been knocked out of the Champions League, losing to Liverpool over two semi-final legs a couple of weeks earlier. They also failed to close the gap to United at the top of the table, who ended the campaign 6 points ahead of them. It was United's turn in 2008-09, having won a Premier League and Champions League double in 2007-08 to lift the League Cup in February and still be active with a chance of defending their Premier League and Champions League crowns, while also securing the FA Cup. That squad included Cristiano Ronaldo, Carlos Tevez, and Wayne Rooney, with Rio Ferdinand and Nemanja Vidic in the heart of defense. Rene Meulensteen tells The Athletic United had a mentality around that particular squad. For Ferguson, Meulensteen added, winning the Premier League was always the main focus, but explained how lifting the League Cup, traditionally the first trophy on offer each season, reinforced what we stood for and what we wanted to achieve. But even that great United team of the late 2000s were unable to buck the quadruple trend, retaining the title, but succumbing to Everton in an FA Cup semi-final that went to a penalty shootout and losing to a fabulous Barcelona team in the Champions League final. Meulensteen says of those two pivotal fixtures is that they faced Barcelona and lost to Everton on penalties in the FA Cup. What makes it so difficult is that because you are going so deep in every single tournament, you do need to start resting important players. That is how Sir Alex managed the squad during that particular time. All the players, when it comes to those games, want to play, but the manager has to make those tough decisions at times. Manuel Pellegrini, Nies, 2013-14. Manchester City squad won the League Cup and Premier League but fell short in the FA Cup and Champions League before the club hired Guardiola ahead of the 2016-17 season. Guardiola has shown himself capable of managing a team to a historic trophy haul, winning 6 titles in 2008-09, culminating in beating Manchester United in that Champions League final. His Barcelona team also won La Liga, the Copa del Rey, Spain's Super Cup, the UEFA Super Cup, and the old version of FIFA's Club World Cup that season. So if anyone knows how to get over the line in multiple competitions, it is the... However, City had chances to complete the quadruple by firstly winning the League Cup 3 seasons in a row under the... but found themselves coming up short in one of the other 3 competitions. During that 2018-19 campaign, Guardiola said it would be almost impossible to achieve the 4 trophy feat. For Meulensteen, managing your squad when it comes to the business end of the season is crucial if a team are to win a quadruple. He noted how Ferguson would often think 3 games ahead in terms of team selection, working out when the most appropriate time was to rest certain players. At the end of the day, you want to be there, Meulensteen said. As Manchester United, we wanted to have a lot of games in April and May, because that's where the prizes are being given. It was Liverpool's turn to win the Carabao Cup in 2021-22, and they came agonizingly close to lifting the other 3 trophies too with Jurgen Klopp in charge. That April, they were 1 point behind City on the Premier League run-in, and had made it into the Champions League semi-finals and FA Cup final. We love being in this situation. It's incredibly tough. We play pretty much all the time, said manager Klopp. You cannot plan that. You are still in everything. But we know there's nothing we have achieved so far, or not a lot. We won 1 competition. That's great! But there are 3 others to go. They fell agonizingly short, beating Chelsea in the FA Cup final, but then finishing a point behind City and losing to Real Madrid in the Champions League final. 2 years later, during what proved Klopp's final season in charge, Liverpool were still active in 4 competitions during the second half of the campaign, albeit playing in the second-tier Europa League as opposed to the Champions League. There is a reason no club has yet managed to win the quadruple. History has shown it is almost impossible, as Guardiola suggested 6 years ago. But Arsenal and City currently still have the chance to do it this season, and time will soon tell which of the two clubs are going to continue to be in with a shot after their Wembley showdown.